Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another pre-market watch list here today. So thank you guys again for tuning in. Today looks like it's going to be a little bit slower. All right. So again, whenever I say it's slow, it tends to be a good day, right? I don't know. So there's nothing super obvious this morning. Good morning, Clown with Twitter account. I'm good. How about yourself? Yuri, good morning. Yes, looks a little slow. Daniel, good morning as well. Yeah, guys, looks a little bit slower. What's going on, Joshua? Again, looks slower, but every time I tend to say it looks slower, it always ends up, seems like it always ends up being a pretty good day to trade. So there's nothing quite obvious popping out at us this morning. So this is that kind of day where you kind of toss together a watch list of some stocks that you think might do good with some stocks that have performed pretty well over the past couple days. So that's what I kind of do, guys. When can't be worse than yesterday. So yeah, real quick, this is what I kind of do when things seem slow. And what I mean slow is you wake up, you look at the stocks in the morning. There's not a whole lot gapping up. There's not a whole lot really gapping down. And any of the things that are gapping up or down are usually really small gaps, which make things kind of slow. And what I tend to do on days like this is, for one, I'll usually take the best looking stocks pre-market that are either gapping up on news or gapping down on news or earnings, right? Which one looks the best, right? I'll take that one. And then I'll usually add in a few different stocks that I know are typically in play, or I'll add in a stock that I know for the past couple days. I forgot to put GEVO on there. That's what I forgot to put on there. But then I'll also take stocks that I know for the past couple days were extremely volatile and they might do something the next day. So it's just about kind of tossing together a watch list that works for you. So we'll jump into it. Let's get to sharing the screen. But GEVO is one that I forgot to put on the screen here. Let's go to sharing the screen. Here we go. Boom. And here we are. All right, guys. So the first stock that I will talk about, specifically because I've had a lot of success trading this stock in the past week, so I tend to watch it. It's pretty active, usually trades pretty high volume, but the stock here is IQ. So again, IQ, it's a China-based company. It's been falling recently, due to some of the bear market that China or Asia and all of them have been going through recently. So as you can see, it popped up, went through a big pullback throughout this time period, from the high from 46 and down to where we're currently at this price point. There has been a lot of short selling taking place. So I know that from the high at 46 down to this previous low that we're currently at, there's been a lot of people shorting that stock. And with that being said, I know that it runs a good possibility for having a strong bounce. So that's why I've been following it these past couple days specifically, is I'm waiting for it to bounce. I want to see a bounce on IQ. I know a lot of people have been shorting it, so just kind of waiting for that day. And today might be the day. It might not, but what I'll show you here, this is the 5-day chart. So from a couple days ago, you can see here that during this pre-market trading action, it's seen resistance right at $4. Or sorry, not $4, $34. So for me, if I want to get long on IQ today, it has to be kind of over this 34 area. If we don't get up to $34, what I think we'll end up seeing is something like this, where it might pop to 34. And then it's going to roll down and it's going to get hammered down by short sellers. Though I will mention yesterday, there's a lot of people trying to short it and it just never came down and kept getting dip bought. So yesterday, each low kept getting bought up and pushed right back up. So that tells me that people were coming in and starting to buy up all the dips on the stock. You can now currently see that instead of us going down, we have put in a higher low. And now we're starting to trend back up. So I think that with the right the right play and the right storm, we might get all the people that have been shorting the stock for the past couple weeks and maybe even yesterday to start squeezing up. And if we get over this $34 area, that'll be key, because that was a spot pre-market that held up a strong resistance. So short sellers will have stop losses in right at 34. That's going to be their stop loss right there at 34. So if we can get up and over 34, that should cause a little bit of a squeeze, and we should at least be able to pop to 35 from there, and then maybe even up towards 36 on the day. That is if we can get over 34. We have to get over 34 to see any sort of big squeeze like that. If we don't get over 34, what we might end up seeing happen is what I stated in the first place, which would be a move to 34, and then a bunch of short sellers come in and start pushing it back down, and then we roll over, right? So either way, IQ will be on the watch list today for me. All right. Next one I'll talk about is GEVO. Might as well talk about it. So GEVO had a nice little pop this morning, little squeeze play. Starting to trend down a little bit right now. Let me take that off. So GEVO this morning received, there was like an update that said they're strengthening their balance sheet. So with that being said, it caught some attention. It started to pop up and started to squeeze a little bit. Well, if we look at this yearly chart, I mean, you'll see it. I do think that GEVO is actually on track for a little bit of a squeeze, because we did go crazy. We shorted it all the way down, and it's finally back down to that support area, right? So if you look at it, well, let me get this off the screen. We went crazy. So we were at 323. We popped up. We came all the way down, and now we're right on that support level. It's starting to bounce a little bit with some good news. So that could today result it or catapult it for a push higher. So we'll be watching GEVO long today. Though it's starting to downtrend pre-market, I think it still has some life in it, because we are coming down, right? We went up, now we're rolling over, and we're rolling over again, but it's not very drastic, and we're still kind of getting bought up on these dips. So I think this is something we could see happen. Let me get this here. I think we could see something like this. What I think we might see happen is the stock is rolling over, and let me take that off, go back to yellow. I think we'll see something like this, where it's bouncing, and it's going to do like a kind of like a consolidating flat line until we get close to the belt, and then we're going to break the trend line, and then we'll start trickling back up, and then we'll do something like that. So that's what I'm seeing in my mind. Again, it might not happen, but it's got a lot of room to run. If there's any long-term short sellers still in the stock from when it went through its big spike, right? And this is a 180-day 4-hour chart, right? You can already see that it's starting to kind of pop here at this previous support level. So this might cause a squeeze today. So we'll see. Keep GEVO on watch for a long bias trade today, guys. Next one on the list I'll talk about is MLHR. So MLHR is a stock that gapped up overnight on earnings. You can see it went from about 34 to a high of 39. It's starting to come down a little bit today. So I'm going to watch this both long and both short. So the reason I kind of like it short, the only reason is if you look at the daily chart, excuse me, if you look at the daily chart on MLHR, you'll see that back, what is that, 3, 4, does it make sense? Yeah. So I guess you could say back a couple months from its previous earnings play, you can see here it gapped down. So it was up at a high of about $40, $39, and then it just gapped down. Well, now we've kind of traded and we hit earnings play today, and the stock has gapped all the way back up to 39.50, which is right there. Okay, so if I were to point this easier, let me do this. I'll put it on a 180-day 4-hour chart. Now you can see it. You see the last earnings play, which was right here, we gapped down. This earnings play, we gapped all the way up to that previous gap down. So we literally gapped all the way up to fill its gap from the previous gap down. And now we're run right into resistance. So with the earnings play today gapping up so high, it's gapped all the way up to a previous resistance spot. So this might be kind of the stopping point for MLHR today. And as you can see, if you go to a 1 minute chart or a 5 minute chart, you'll see that it popped right up to 39.50, came down, and now it's still trending down. So that's telling us that 39.50, that previous resistance from a few months back, is in fact holding true, and people are recognizing that, and people are selling. So for me, it's kind of hard to judge what's going to happen with this. It's not my typical go-to play nor setup, but it is an earnings play. We will mention it. So I think, it's possible we might see something like this and then a dip buy, right? So I'm going to watch it both long and short today. Just keep it on your watch list, okay? Next one I'll talk about is BABA. So BABA was actually, before I looked at it, it was mentioned to me by one of our premium members. Who did a fantastic job spotting it out. But as you can see, actually, let me do it like this. Let me zoom out. So you can see here, the past couple times, BABA dropped down to the 200 moving average. It got bought up and bounced. Well, if you look now, BABA is right on that 200 moving average again. So we're kind of expecting within the coming days, we're going to have BABA start heading back up. And with the current overall market conditions, right, the SPY or the market had been moving down for the past couple days, which in result helped take BABA down all the way to the 200 moving average. And now the market's starting to bounce and go green a bit. So that might end up carrying BABA upwards with it. So we'll be watching BABA long bias today, okay? And that's really just it. I mean, there's really not too much more than that other than Netflix. Netflix is another one we'll watch. So Netflix, I wanted it short, and it shorted in the beginning of the day. But either way, I would just keep Netflix on watch because it is now consolidating and it's holding up. So there might be some short sellers that could still be getting squeezed out. So if you look at the chart on a 5-day chart on Netflix, you'll see it has a perfect resistance right at about $401 or $402. So if this can get up and over this 401, 402 area, we might see it go long to retest some previous highs of 406 and 410 and even 411. All right, so going to watch Netflix long today. And those are primarily all the stocks. Last one I'll touch on is SAEX. So SAEX was a stock that kind of ran pretty good yesterday, penny stock, and this morning it's still trickling up. So I'd watch SAEX potentially long. There might be some traders that are still looking to buy this thing up. And I think it had a little bit of news this morning, but that's all for me. Those are all the stocks that I will be primarily focusing on this morning. All right. Oh. Now we're going to watch GBR. As you can see, GBR is starting to go nuts. Oh, this is funny. This is too good. Wow, from $7 to $13. All right, guys. So if I had to explain what's going on here with the stock GBR, it's a pure short squeeze. I mean, that's basically all that's happening. All right, guys. So if you're not familiar, I'll explain it here. And it's good. I should. So what's happening here with GBR is basically yesterday it hit a high of almost $13. People started shorting it. They started shorting it here, shorted it here, shorted it here, shorted it here, re-shorted here, shorted here. Basically, this whole way down, people were selling it short. And look what happened. It started to, let me do it like this. Trending down, right? So thing is, and let me do this in red. Actually, I'll do this in red. So look, we're trending down. Alrighty, we're trending down, trending down, trending down, trending down. Oh, wait. we broke through the trend line in which we are no longer trending down, and now it's squeezing up from all these people that were shorting the stock yesterday. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. So yes, we were trending down, trend broke, short sellers squeeze up. So watch GBR today. Do I think GBR is going to go crazy again? I mean, honestly, it shouldn't. Well, actually, considering we broke through the previous high of yesterday, that's kind of the determining point. So let me put it this way, guys. If GBR can break over and hold over $12.78, I'll be long bias. But most likely, we're going to see GBR crash right now and then maybe pick back up. This is kind of a common thing you'll see with penny stocks. Once they hit a big high, if they drop the next day, they'll try and break through that high. If they fail, they're usually done. So if this can successfully break 1275, 1278 and hold above 1278, then I will be long bias on GBR today. Okay. But here's the thing, though it broke through the previous high, it needs to hold above the previous high. If it cannot sustain above 1278, then that's telling us it does not want to be above 1278. Okay, so GBR now has become one of the main stocks on the watch list. And it probably has potential to go higher today because I know a ton of people shorted it on this back move yesterday. So again, GBR, strong watch again today. Let's see. Let's see. Buy above 5. All right, guys. So I'll take a few more minutes here to go over some of your guys' stocks. So I'll take a look at AVXL. AVXL is too light on volume to trade. Tesla. So Tesla, what was it? Was I saying look for a red day on Tesla earlier? Yeah, so earlier I was thinking, I was thinking possibly short Tesla, but Tesla is just one stock that just doesn't make sense. It never does. And, as much as I hate this stock, I got to give it to him. I honestly, I am almost never right about what Tesla's going to do. I mean, if I had to be completely honest with you guys, it seems whatever I tried to think or do on Tesla is almost never right. Don't know why, but let's put it this way. I figured today, after Tesla had that major red day, even on the good news, what it's done now is it's performed a double top. Ready? 1, bounce, 2, double top. So theoretically, we should move lower. So I'm thinking shorting Tesla today. I think Tesla should be a short. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Tesla may be short down to the 50 moving average, which is at about 320. That'd be a huge move today. That'd be a 10-point move, which is very possible considering it moved from 365 to a low of 335 yesterday. All right. So who knows, right? I never know with Tesla. Honestly, again, it's a stock that moves on hopes and dreams. And I don't know. I really don't have much of an answer for you on Tesla there. So we'll see. I think Tesla is a short, but it will later bounce in the day. I think Tesla will be short and then have a bounce. All right. Let's see. Let's go back to GBR. Let's see what's going on there. Okay, guys. See, look at how I said it had to hold 1278. So we see how we popped over, we went back under, now we're up and over, and now it's starting to try and hold that level. Let me zoom in for you some more. Okay. So you see how I said it has to break over this white line and then hold above it. You can clearly see it's trying to do that. Ready? We broke over, came under, now we're up and over. And you can see it's just trying to hold that level. You can see buyers are buying it up right on that level. And now it's creating a doji candle. So this is, what we're seeing here is an indecisive candle. And now it's starting to go long over this like, over this like 13, was that 13, like 48. So again, it's got to hold. It needs to hold this yellow or this white line. It cannot, if it breaks below this white line, that might be a signal it's going to start crashing. So, and now you can see it's starting to trend up. All right, this is fun. You can see it's starting to actually kind of trend up from this candle to that candle, and now this candle is up a little bit higher. All right, you can see that. So it is actually starting to trend up on 1 minute candles, soon to break over, and now it's going to start popping. So this is technically where I take an entry, right over that yellow line, because now we're going to start pushing higher theoretically, and now it needs to break over 1380. All right, so like that wouldn't have been a horrible entry, but either way, GEVO might do something today. We'll see. Who knows? With that being said, a long buy just means you're buying in the hopes that the stock goes upwards, Mario. So if you're, swing trading, a long buy doesn't necessarily mean a swing trade. So a swing trade could be a short trade too. You could be hoping the trade goes down. So now that we've broken down below this level, right, it needs to break this 9 moving average. So anywho, what you're starting to see now is kind of like a double top. Right? You kind of see that. You kind of have a pop up, drop, double top, rolling. Might do something like that. Anywho, with that being said, all right. That is all I have for you guys today. So hopefully that helps you guys kind of determine what you're going to trade, and kind of see what I see. With that being said, again, all I have for you today, hopefully that helps. Keep GBR on watch. There will be a long play at some point, even if it's moving down, because short sellers will probably squeeze up. So again, all I have for you guys today. So thank you guys again for tuning in. Also, we will be doing a 4th of July sale today. So if you guys are a part of our chat room, so if you're part of the free version of our chat room, you will, sorry, let me put it this way. We're doing a sale, a 4th of July sale. So if you want to get inside our private group, just make sure to go to the links below and join our Facebook group and join our free chat room to get the coupon codes to get the sale price. That will be happening today throughout tomorrow. That's what I had to say. All right, guys. So I'll see you guys all not tomorrow because, yeah, anywho. So I'll see you guys soon.